So I did it. I finally caved in and bought the M1 Pro, and I'm very excited that they're out. I am a software developer. I program in Angular, React Native, and C# mainly. Right now, I have an Intel Macbook, and sorry if I sound sick because I have a sore throat and a cough, but bear with me. But I just want to run a little test to see which is faster and to find out if I'm going to return this thing, because it's a lot of money. And I mean, I just bought a MacBook 2 years ago, so let's dive into it and let's see how much better this M1 Pro MacBook versus an Intel one is for software development. Alright, so what I have here is a 2019 MacBook Pro, Intel, 8 cores, i9, 32 gigabytes of RAM, and like a 3.2 gigahertz processor or something. It's been a great machine. I've done a lot of programming on it. But then the M1s came out with the M1 Air and the 13-inch M1. And I really didn't like that you couldn't have two monitors, so I waited until this guy. And this guy is an M1 Pro. I didn't go for the Max because I wanted to test this out first to see if it's good enough. And what I got was an M1 Pro, 32 gigabytes of RAM, with the 10 core and the 16 core GPU. And yeah, so I'm gonna run a coding test on one of the apps that I've built called Holy Whisper, and compare the build times. I'm gonna actually give this guy an advantage and actually leave him plugged in to this standard 87 watt USB-C power adapter that it came with back in 2019. So let's get to it. Let's load up the project. And sorry this is not screen recorded, but that really slows down the processing. And what I'm going to do now is completely clean this build folder. And same on this one, the M1. And for the simulator, I'm going to choose the iPhone 13 Pro Max, and the same on this one. Alright, I got the stopwatch right here, and I'll even give this one a little bit of a head start. So let's go. Start it up. And I left the simulators closed on purpose because the winner of this race will have it won when that simulator is loaded with the app being displayed. We're at 32 seconds. The building is 1100 when the M1 is at 2800. Wow. And the fans are kicking up on this guy, and there is not a peep coming out of this guy, and this focus is really bad. Wow. 3400 out of 48. 1600. This M1 is blowing this computer out of the water. Can you hear those fans? There's no fans here. Almost done building on the right side. Halfway done here. Wow, the Metro of React Native popped up. All right, simulator is booting up. Simulator is booting up. And it's loaded. Boom. I actually only hit lap 1 on here. That's not, lap 2 is the M1. So now let's go to this guy. He's at 3400 and the fans are huffing. I think we have a clear winner, but to give honor where honor's due, this thing has been really good to me. This Intel 16-inch, and I've made a lot of money from the work that's come from it. But when there's a bigger, badder dude in town, sometimes you just gotta let go. So yeah, I mean, the M1 is clearly insane. So if you're a web developer or a mobile developer, it's clear that the M1 is not a bad choice if you have the 16-inch Intel version. We are still going, folks. It's almost there. 4,700 out of 4,800. Oh, the Metro just popped up. Boom, simulator started. Loading. And boom. 5 minutes and 28 seconds. Beat it by over 50% faster. So if you're a developer, I think this is a no-brainer, and you have the means to afford one of these machines because they're not cheap. And it would have to be a big difference for me to keep this guy. But I think I'm going to keep it because over 50% build times, I mean, that's just insane. The fans didn't even kick on. It's not even hot. This thing is burning up. Wow, wow, wow. But yeah, it's my app, Holy Whisper, available on Android and iOS. You should check it out.